pretty simple this week for our review of Origin on the Wednesday night there. The 50k guaranteed was just that we picked the wrong outside backs, and we saw how well Ponga had been playing, but hasn't been scoring really well in those games. So we decided to go against him, and he got the 102, and then Teddy and Holmes the 50 and the 59 for both of them. So that was our biggest issue. Picking Dearden at the cheap price worked well. Carrigan, Cleary, all great options there. Isaiah Yeo getting a 51, so it was the Polo there with 32.6, and then just To'o and Tupou obviously with the New South Wales boys not winning that one. So congrats to those guys that got a big winner there. And then, of course, I played super well just doing the play for fun. Cowboys vs Sharks, I came 7th out of 274 in that one, so would have made plenty of cash if I actually had a crack at that one. I just didn't feel confident actually with the selections, and it obviously all played out really well. I wasn't sure what was going to happen minutes-wise with guys like Lucy Leilua. I was pretty confident with someone like T. Wilton, for example, that he'd be able to get around a 50 mark. And yeah, just the Leilua basically, and then picking Hammer, who came out and had an awesome game at centre. So I was like, I can pick him, but I wasn't so sure how that was going to go. Tracy was solid. We had Kennedy as well. Raymond's obviously been killing it as of late. So yeah, just wasn't really sure with that. We had Finucane 45, so it worked out really, really good. I didn't obviously win any small amount of cash there, but a great outing for my picks anyway, and I hope you were able to use them really, really effectively with those guys there, especially with some of the changes last minute as well. We had the Eels v Warriors game, which wasn't perfect for me. I was really happy with my Stevo pick. Walshy wasn't ideal. I ended up playing him there. I think you had to pick Moses in this one, and that worked out well. Obviously, Johnson was great. Also, Jesse Arthur's there. I had just plugged him in as a cheap guy. Was happy with Tavanga, for example, at 51, Niokore 42. So they were like a bunch of my picks there. But yeah, the Walsh and the Arthur's one obviously didn't work out too well there. But generally, yeah, it wasn't a super high scoring game, that one. And yeah, missing 2 players there is going to be pretty hurtful. Had like an okay game here, the Roosters v Dragons, in terms of my selections. We had, Joey Manu, I said was a clear must have, and he got the 118. So if you picked him up, that was great. Butcher ended up getting an opportunity to play some decent minutes, but just was kind of a bit everywhere with all the injuries and stuff like that. So he's going to be interesting going forward. I had Tupanua and also Takaaho, who were both off early. So is what is on that one. Happy with Ramsey. So Ali was a little bit low. Sammy Walker was great, which I didn't end up looking at him, or Radley, for example. Crichton was a great one if you had the extra cash. Jack Bird was a little bit lower than normal, but generally picks were okay, just a bit unlucky with injuries on that one. Also had a good one with this. Of course, I did the play for fun with the Eagles v Knights and got 18th out of the 284, so would have made a decent amount of cash on that one as well if I played the full version. Again, just wasn't sure with guys like Tapau, and also Jackie Jawovic went low as well. Lockie Croker was solid. Really happy, and pretty simple picks there. Kohler and Ponga, I think, were 2 of the best picks to go with, and they worked out well along with DCE. Said he was going to go absolutely nuts. Davey I've been picking every week, and this was his best one. So it's really just the bottom, those middle 2, the Trebojevic and Tapau, which hurt us a little bit. Olakawatu obviously spending up on him. I couldn't as much, having spent a little bit more up above. But yeah, is what is. Really happy with those selections there on that one. I hope you did well. Also, ended up being a very even week for me in terms of cash. Played the 2 Origin games and then only 2 more here at the end, which I end up not cashing in, unfortunately, but that is the way it goes. We had Tessie New with 45. I had him as a half a selection there. Just a little bit expensive, but worked out well. Brimson as well, was speaking about him. He did just as well as we would have thought. Sexton I did not pick. Hosking was a must-have. Palacia was a solid one. Hetherington I spoke really highly of. Just didn't get the minutes as much this week, but 35 was okay for him if you selected him. Tino wasn't his best game. Ezra wasn't his best game either, so well done if you took that plunge on Fafita. And then the other Fafita as well, the outside back, obviously super cheap. I'll probably be staying away from Mr. Stagsy from here on in, to be completely honest with you guys. Just hasn't been scoring well enough, to be honest. That's it. I was in the money here early on with the Tigers v Panthers, and then kind of just fell away a little bit. Having Adam Dewey was the way to play it, 100%. Clearly a great option each week from here on in. Kurt Falls started okay, and then just ended up getting punted. So picking him at 12,500 was obviously a big loss. Happy with Leota, but Offengawe with the slightly lower minutes and a very much a lower score. You could have spent that money a lot better elsewhere. Is what it is. But those are the 2 there that were losses. I had Tungo and Jennings. I was really happy with in the outside backs. it was just those couple there when you could pick Kickow or Eisenhuth or spend that money a little bit better elsewhere. You could play the Mitch Kenny one, which was at a solid price, but yeah, having a 7.8 in there, I'm never going to be winning that one or getting close to it. And then the last one, not so great as well. I had Munster as a clear must-have for everyone, and I did select him, thank goodness, but he, 62, could have been a bit better. Tarpanay spent the money on him. He didn't go so great. Seve has been a solid one, but Meany was the way to go. And Savage there with 20, not great. Jesse Brom, one of his lower ones that he's prone to get every sort of 4 or 5 weeks. He got that this week when I picked him, unfortunately. Harry, if you could get Harry, Munster, and Nelson, for example, again, and getting another try, doing well. Kenny Bromwich, that up and down every sort of 3 weeks or 4 weeks is getting that 50 odd. So he was good as well. But there you go. I went for Jesse over Kenny and worked out that way. But that is the review show for the week, guys. Let me know how you went in the comments, if you won any this week, if you got in the top 10s, if you had any really good cracks at it. And we'll get into those Thursday, round 19 we're up to now. So plenty of rounds still to go. If you're wanting to get involved, get and jump into that description and hit that sign up link. That would be awesome. And we'll catch you in those videos, guys. Have a great week.